Markiplier. I'm not gonna bother explaining who Markiplier is. You know him, I know him, let's get to the chase. Iron Lung is a movie that I have been waiting to watch for so long, and a lot of it has to do with the fact that this is Markiplier's first directing debut. I have always been interested in his other works outside of Let's Plays, with the point-and-click adventure saga, that one channel I'm not allowed to say its name, and his starring role in a groundbreaking work of art, FNAF the Musical.
25 years of life with a cellmate named Buffalo Frickin' Bill.
So when I heard he's making a movie based on a video game, I was fully supportive of the project, especially when a few YouTubers have gotten big with their directing debut. At the same time though, I was somewhat taken aback by what Mark was adapting, because out of all games he has played for a decade, Iron Lung wasn't what I expected. It's such a specific pick that I never really would expect to be getting a movie, let alone being directed by this guy.
There's a stream going on right now. Whoa!
I want to make something clear, I have never played Iron Lung, and that's because it doesn't look like my cup of tea. I know what the gameplay is like, I just don't think it's something that I would get into as much. And normally I would play the source material to get a grasp of the adaptation in question, but the creator of the original game seems to prefer people critiquing this film without playing the game. So if that's what he wanted, I will review this anyway. Despite it having over 4,000 screenings, it never arrived in my state. I tried contacting my local theater about having a screening for Iron Lung, but their email is so useless. Fuck me, I guess. Just like the game, it takes place in an apocalyptic aftermath of the Quiet Rapture, as we follow a prisoner named Simon controlling an iron lung in an ocean of blood. Aside from 2 flashbacks, the whole film takes place in a submarine, and I am a sucker for one location movies, and this one does it really nicely. The set design of the iron lung is not only accurate to the game, but it also looks phenomenal. I did like that they made the camera screen bigger, and it's used very creatively in the film. Although I have to say this, I had no clue that this camera was actually a radioactive X-ray camera. So imagine my shock when Simon accidentally vaporized 3 staffs from the surface, one of them being played by Jacksepticeye. Mark, why would you do that to him? There are 2 things in this movie that made me like it so much, and it just so happens to be the most divisive thing about it. This movie is 2 hours long, and a lot of people criticized it for ruining the pacing and making the movie boring to watch. Which is funny to hear because the second the movie opened like that, I was hooked till the very end. To me, the runtime didn't feel like padding or just wasting time on nothing. It felt purposeful as it lets you soak in the atmosphere and it builds up to an incredible third act. Like, I knew that the movie would end with the big fish killing Simon, as that's what happened in the game. What I was not expecting was Simon getting his arm ripped off faster than James Franco, and having him getting worse and worse from the blood going all around him and ruining his flesh as he kills the fish as a final middle finger to them. It was an insane build up to that, and it makes me wish I could have witnessed that in a theater. The amount of fake blood being spilled all over the submarine is unbelievable, and it does explain why Mark went to the hospital with a red eye. There is a great sequence where after Simon experiences some hallucinations from the blood, you have him tied up in an ocean of blood as he sees this massive creature looking at him. For a $3 million budget, it's well executed. Although in the final act, I started to not understand what Simon and the entity were saying as they yelled at each other. It felt like I wanted subtitles to understand what was going on there, and that's fine for me because I watch everything with subtitles. I have been doing that since I was 6 years old, and yet a bunch of Americans can't even read it. Well, I don't want to read subtitles for a foreign film. We're Americans, we can't read or have basic human rights. To me, this is the kind of film that 100% requires a second watch, and I say that as a compliment. And it helps that Simon is a great protagonist, which, speaking Speaking of, Markiplier plays the character, and your opinion on his performance will differ depending on whether or not you take Markiplier seriously in this film. It's hard for a lot of comedians to do serious roles, and it's even harder for a lot of YouTubers to do these roles, as most general audiences don't respect YouTubers at all, and YouTuber movies have a horrendous reception. To be fair, this should be blamed on YouTubers like Logan Paul and Shane Dawson for this reception, but I just wish people would let YouTubers have a chance to shine their work on bigger projects. Which is why I am glad this movie is not only doing well, but also has Markiplier doing a great job as Simon. As I said, I have seen his original work before, and he does a good job at it, with him playing a goofy space staff to playing a sad sleep-deprived character. And his performance as Simon is his best one. You can feel how much anger he displays, and Mark does a good job portraying this character so much, and made Simon an engaging character to follow. The only time I'll have laughed at his performance is whenever he says fuck.
Fuck that! Fuck you! Fuck that. Why is it so fucking hot down here?
It's just that the way he says fuck is unintentionally funny to me. In conclusion, this has to be one of the most interesting video game movies I have ever seen. There's really nothing like that with other adaptations, and it's a film that feels like Markiplier would only make. Even if the next movie he makes is adapting another game, or it's just an original story, I will happily watch it and cannot wait for what he's making next. That got me thinking, what other popular YouTuber could make a movie? Okay, this is way bigger than Iron Lung, what the hell? So yeah, A tier. Go watch this movie again. And to quote Markiplier, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye!
Do something spooky.